I think what was happening here today and what was really encouraging about this was, for a start, the very good attendance that there was here. The fact that clearly you had a very broad range of people here coming with different expertise, different experiences, but really wanting to share ideas, to share concerns, and I think to look positively at the sorts of answers that we need to start thinking about.
I thought that the plenary session this morning brought out some of the key issues very, very clearly. The ways in which London's communities are being fragmented as a result of the housing crisis, and so processes of social cleansing are literally going on and communities fragmented. There was discussion of the links between that and the whole social security system and how that's compounding the problem. And then there were questions about young people and precarious employment and the lack of continuing opportunities, which makes it very hard for young people to have a sense of stability and engagement in their communities.
The biggest challenges facing London's communities today are the huge rises in inequality, and that's driven by government policy around welfare reform, around affordable housing, and also driven by the pace of physical regeneration that we're seeing.
The London housing market is almost out of control now. Housing isn't affordable for people on normal incomes, and more people are being forced into insecure housing in the private rented sector, and that is leading to a lot of problems in the stability of communities, and in a sense a lot of the issues that flow from that, other problems that we have around education, around the prospects for young people. All those ultimately often come back to this fundamental issue that we are not building enough housing and that we're not concentrating enough on making sure that housing is affordable for a broad range of people who we need to have living in London.
Well, I think the third sector has always had a key role in identifying new needs and responding to those and developing services and developing provision from the bottom up rather than the top down. But I do also think that the third sector has a very important role in terms of advocacy. It's not the third sector's role to have to meet all those needs. It's the third sector's role to be enabling the voices of everybody in communities to be heard, and to be heard effectively to make a change.
I think the third sector needs to partner with other sectors. I think the third sector needs to join forces with unions and with campaigning organisations to kind of diffuse their ideas and to really build power, because I think that you can only do that in partnership.
Communities are under greater pressure than ever. The mixed communities that we're used to in London, which are an important part of London's dynamism, London's attraction, is rich people, poor people, middle income people all living in the same areas, rubbing along fine. And I think we're beginning to lose that because money talks louder than almost anything else.
I think it's an interesting time. I think there'll be, for all of us, there's going to be a lot of challenges coming forward, and I think only through collaboration are we going to be able to address some of those. But I still think that the voluntary and community sector still really needs to remember that some of our role is about lobbying and influencing, not just about delivering services. And I think what we need to be doing is using that feedback we're getting from young people, older people, whoever's using our services, to keep on flagging up the challenges, because actually London in 5 years could be a very difficult place to grow up in. And I think we have a collective responsibility to start making sure that we do what we can in our remits to stop that from happening.
This isn't an easy process. I think we're in very difficult times for the community and voluntary sector, and in particular for many of the people who traditionally it's seen itself as representing and providing services to. So I think what was encouraging was a real willingness here to look in a radical way at new ideas, new approaches against that difficult background, and I got a very strong sense that that was absolutely what people had come to do, and I would expect there to be a lot of very positive action, ideas, plans for the future and coming together coming out of the session today.
I haven't been to anything like this for at least 2 years, and it's so uplifting to be in a room full of people who are passionate, who are knowledgeable, and who are a bit angry and who want to do something. It's really a very, very exciting place to be, and I hope that what I've contributed to that is some of the experience from Community Links, the organisation that I run, about actually how we make this change happen.